Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. Now, today we're just gonna be jamming some Nightfall. Just gonna let you all know straight off the bat. I saw this player called Busy Berry in the Apex server a few days ago. They were climbing with Nightfall. They have switched different decks, but I saw them using Nightfall and I was like, whoa, Nightfall is actually doing fine. And this player was all the way up to rank 3. So I figured, okay, if another player can make it that high, then maybe there is something here with Nightfall that we're missing. Now, this Nightfall deck that Busy Berry was using is the most standard Nightfall deck that you see in the whole world now, right? Ever since we had the Twilight Protector and the Moonlit Glenkeeper, these two cards are automatic additions to every Nightfall deck because these two cards help this Nightfall deck archetype so much. The Glenkeeper especially is honestly the MVP of this deck. I always use this card. It's so nice because you can get favorable trades by having the sapling, as well as just push a lot of random damage because you can pull blockers away that the opponent might not be prepared for. Then obviously the rest of the deck is just a bunch of low unit value that lets you just push a lot of aggro. So this is an aggro deck, right? It's kind of like an aggro combo deck. It's not as simple as like Pirate Aggro or Draven Jinx because you have to think a little bit more on when you activate Nightfall, etc. But at the end of the day, it is an aggro deck. So you do want to make sure that you start off with a very early hand. And that's why we play stuff like Dustbringer, Solaris Soldier, Unlucky, and Flight. So we're playing 12 1-drops that allow us to both push damage and also are cheap ways to enable us to trigger the Nightfall. Like the Dustbringer, the Solaris Soldier, and the Flight are such good ways to trigger Nightfall. We have Faded Memories, which you can combine with the Protector, with the Doom Beast for some burn, with the Glenkeeper, etc. to just push a lot of damage, as well as being a 0-mana Nightfall activator. Then obviously Diana and Nocturne are your two champions of choice. Diana is so good now that you can get Challenger almost every time as soon as you activate any other Nightfall card. Ends up being really nice at letting you pick up the opponent's units, and Nocturne just levels up so easily in this deck because of the Nightfall and because of the Fearsome. And then obviously once Nocturne is leveled up, you can start putting on a show against the opponent. Pale Cascade and Unto Dust are kind of like our draw engines. Unto Dust is really cool though because you can actually use this on the Protector or the Glenkeeper or any of your other Nightfalls. But remember, if you use them the Glenkeeper, you get another sapling. If you use them the Twilight Protector, you get everything plus 1 power. So if you have a wide enough board, it can be the right play to just do Unto Dust and the Protector to just push the lethal damage that you need. Unspeakable Horror gives us some random cards in our hand that are Nightfall, which can also be really game saving. And then we move on to Doom Beast, which ends up being kind of like a burn to finish up. And then, because we have a lot of 3-offs, that gets us 39 cards, we have our 40th card, which is Moonlight Affliction. And never has a 40th card been more impactful than this one. Honestly, the Moonlight Affliction wins me more games than I can count, but it's also really awkward to get 2 of them in your hand. So I don't think I will ever go to 2. I think 1 is the perfect number. I think we have enough draw between the Flight, the Pale Cascade, and the Unto Dust that we can kind of rely on drawing the Affliction often enough that we don't need to play more than 1. But yeah, Nightfall feels really nice right now. So props to Busy Berry for kind of playing around with it. We'll try out their decklist today, and if you're a fan of Nightfall, then check out these games and see how they go. But as always, if you do like this video and our content, we post LOR videos every single day, so make sure that you subscribe so that you get notified every time that we release a new video. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. In this match, we're going against Katarina Gwen. Don't know that we actually do a lot against them. I like the Soldier, but it's kind of weird because I don't want to play the Soldier without having any other Nightfall cards. So maybe it was actually better to try to hard mulligan for something else that we could have played on turn 1. Because I don't know if I want to play this right away. Let's slam it down. Let's slam it down. At the end of the day, we are an aggro deck, so I don't mind just pushing 3 damage here, forcing the opponent to have to do something in response, or just accept the 3 damage, and just gonna go from there. There's the Flight. I would have preferred to have the Flight last turn. Really?
No mercy for heretics.
Sure. I'm gonna wait to play the flight next turn so that we can have Pale Cascade as a backup against Biofeast. This also now gives me access to Diana, right? Because this will be a Nightfall trigger. The opponent kept that 2 mana, which kind of scared me, and now we get to kill the Katarina. I guess opponent could go ahead and flock this, right? Yeah, so they're gonna go for the flock right here.
It's just a nick.
It's a little bit annoying. If that's the case, I guess we have to Moonlight Affliction the Katarina. Yeah, there's the flock. What I should have done is I should have just passed. When the opponent played Katarina, because there was a good chance that the opponent wanted to just block. Like, the opponent was gonna do the one attack, the thing on the flight, right? This is a little bit unfortunate because we have no way to actually trigger. I guess we can always just do this later. The opponent has access to a Hallow. Yeah, we're gonna have to just take this damage and just play the Fading Memory in the Glenkeeper. It's gonna be really bad. This is like really bad for us. We will be able to kill that Gwen though, which is not bad. So we can kill the Gwen by going Fading Memories into Glenkeeper. And we have to do it now so that the opponent cannot play Katarina and can punish us for it. The opponent's gonna play the Katarina. Yeah. Now here's the question: do we actually want to kill the Gwen or do we want to kill the Katarina? That's an interesting dilemma. Because we're taking a lot of damage here from this Katarina. But if we let the Gwen level up, we're also gonna be in trouble. What is gonna commit the Blaze Edge? What if we keep this back? What if we keep this back to block that Katarina? Yeah, why do we keep this back to block the Katarina attack? Opponent's gonna Blaze Edge, we're gonna Pale Cascade. So we get to kill the Gwen at least. It sucks though because by not attacking with the Glenkeeper, as you can see, we delay our Nocturne, but I do want to keep this Glenkeeper to block that Katarina. Because I don't want to lose this second Glenkeeper just yet. Okay. I'm fine doing this Unspeakable Horror now. Because the Hallow doesn't mean anything to me because the Katarina is gonna get blocked by the Ephemeral anyways, right?
They're afraid. They should be.
So we go here. If you don't attack, I'm also okay with that. Am I okay with that? Because I guess the opponent's gonna push a little bit more damage here by doing it this way. Oh, really? Okay, so that's gonna be another Gwen. That's gonna come down. We could silence now. What if we go Twilight Protector and then have the Moonlight Affliction? But I hate the fact that we're not killing the Eternal Dancers. We're gonna take 2 from Gwen. No, we have to silence this. Yeah, we have to silence this right now. Doesn't make sense otherwise. Doesn't make sense not to silence it. Okay, block. If you go like this, I'm okay with that because you just lose the Katarina. She doesn't have quick attack anymore. If you attack with the Eternal Dances, I'm also okay with that too. Opponent decides not to go for it. We can play the Flight and then play Nocturne on the Eternal Dancers. The Nocturne will be able to just kill it. We leave the Katarina alive, but I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Yeah, because Nocturne will level up here. Because this is a Nightfall card, there is a Nightfall card. So we will be able to kill the Eternal Dancers. Opponent also will not be able to block with Katarina. And then Nocturne's going to be leveled up, which is going to be amazing for us. We just need to find a way to... Okay, well, that's a big punish. That's a big punish. Because now we actually have no way to kill that Eternal Dancers. It feels like the opponent just had everything, huh? Kind of feels like the opponent had everything to kind of stop us from actually beating them. Because the concern now is that I have no way to stop this Katarina. Opponent gets to attack with Gwen next turn. They didn't wanna attack with everything because I feel like I'm gonna need the blockers, right? The opponent's gonna get to attack with the Gwen next turn. And that's gonna be problematic. Let's go here so that we have more blockers. If I had this in my hand, it would have been better because that way we can level up the Nocturne. So now the opponent gets 2 attack with Katarinas. At least the Eternal Dances will die right away. Meaning that the opponent doesn't get to attack with it twice and doesn't get to bring back Gwen twice. But that's still going to be a lot of damage that we're taking. We don't have any good... Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Okay, at least they don't get Katarina this turn, right? So they don't get Katarina this turn. They get to bring back 2 Gwens though, so just like that they go back to full HP.
I'll do better this time.
Yeah, no need to even do anything else, because yeah, no need to buff it up this way. Yeah, we're gonna go... We could deny him... Oh, opponent messed up. Yeah, opponent messed up, right? So we could go like this, I guess. We could deny him the Katarina level up. Don't know that I care just yet. I think we're just gonna go like this for now. Could deny him the Katarina level up. If I go like this and I deny the opponent Katarina level up, I mean the Katarina attack, they don't have a Katarina to have the rally next turn, which is gonna give me time to potentially level up this Nocturne. So this is gonna give me the time that I need to level up the Nocturne. Opponent could have a battle piece here. If they glimpse, they just leave one of my units alive, which is fine. Whatever Nightfall card we get here is gonna be very good potentially. The Glenkeeper gets me access to the sapling. Yeah, I think I need to stop them from being able to rally next time. Because also, the Katarina gives the 1 mana Blaze Edge, right? The 0 mana Blaze Edge. Now, if the opponent has a second Katarina in their hand right now, then I can't do anything about it, right? They have everything. This Eternal Dances is really bad for decks like us that don't have a lot of stop here. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. We don't die to Mark of the Isles. That's why I was okay doing it this way. Oh, okay, we live at 1, but you still don't have that Katarina. I didn't think about the... I will admit, I did not think about the thing there. Really didn't consider the fact that the opponent can have access to Fervor. Right? So that is a little bit of a whoopsie on my part. Could the opponent beat me on a single action? Could the opponent beat me on a single action next turn? I don't think so. We can even bring back another Glenkeeper. We can bring back another sapling here. Because we have access to the Unto Dusk. I would prefer though, I would prefer to go for lethal if I could here. But I don't have enough. I think it has to be like this. Has to be like this. And just pretend that the opponent has no answer for this. If they have an answer, they have an answer, right? I have to pretend that the opponent has no answer for this. Really? Come on, man. Just do it. If you have an answer, you have an answer. I don't understand. We lose to the Overwhelm next turn no matter what, right? So I have to just go for it. I guess I had 6. I had the leveled up. I had 6. We didn't... 6, 11... We had... No. Let me see. 6, 11, 13... We had lethal without committing the Protector, actually. Because the Nocturne level up gave us the last point of damage that we needed. So we gave the opponent an extra action to have an extra blocker, which is a misplay on our part. Let's see if it actually would have mattered or not. Alright. It might not have mattered. My misplay might be okay. My misplay might be fine. Opponent will need to have flock here. But because they got rid of their own blocker, the flock might not be enough. A second Katarina only kills this one. We got there. We did make a misplay. We did make a misplay. We had exact lethal with the 2-1. I guess we protected ourselves against the bounties, but we also give the opponent an option to have a blocker, which could have been worse for us. So, GG's. In this matchup, we're gonna against Seraphine. Seraphine as your Bandle City. We're gonna be here for like 15 minutes, unless we just get a super fast hand that we can start with. I don't hate the Glenkeeper. I don't hate the Fading Memories. Wow. I think I like that. I think I like this hand like this. I think I like it. I like it this way. I think this Glenkeeper is gonna be crucial for us to kind of push a lot of damage that the opponent might not expect. I might even play the Protector right away so that we can start leveling up our. Maybe we just go Dustkeeper this time around. Dustbringer now instead. So that we can start leveling up the Nocturne, sorry, because this counts as a Nightfall card. So I might just drop the Protect. Yeah, I might just go like this. I mean, I'll take this block. I'll take this block, take my trade, play the Protector, push 3 damage potentially, and then have access to Dust Petal. Heck, now we can even just go for Dustbringer again next turn. And we have the Pale Cascade that protects us. Yeah, so this counts for 1 towards Nocturne because it is a Nightfall card. Why not just play your Gust Monk? I guess the opponent didn't want to block the Gust Monk right here, which I guess that's fine. 2 costs on the Dustbringer, or 2 costs on the Fading Memory. I will go for the Dustbringer if I'm the opponent. Yeah, doesn't make sense not to. Alright, I don't need to play it. I can just go for my Dust Petal. Go for my Dust Petal, go for my Glenkeeper here. Get rid of your Monk anyways. Have access to Pale Cascade in case that I need to. You know I have Fading Memory, so you're not gonna copy this later. If you only go to kill this, then we're fine. You could have access to a Mystic here. Drop the bomb, Pokey Stick. So let's go here. Let's go here. Force the opponent to have another form of removal for this sapling. If you wanna spend a Mystic Shot on this, that's okay. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kill your Monk for free. Right? I'm definitely not attacking with the Glenkeeper, by the way, because I wanna make sure that I have the Glenkeeper. The opponent does have a form of removal, right? So they showed us that they do have something here. They do have something here, right? They have a fast piece spell. I'm guessing that's like a Mystic Shot. I'm guessing that's a Mystic Shot that they don't want to play because they want to save it for like a potential... Yeah, I'm gonna just go here. They want to save it for a potential Diana, is what I'm guessing. Okay. I'm always gonna go here too. Like... No question about it. No question about it. I don't want to play this now. I kind of prefer this as a 3-3. I prefer this as a 3-3. Now it's even better. Now we can actually play the Soldier, play the Glenkeeper, and even play the Twilight Protector afterwards too. Opponent knows that we have this Glenkeeper in our hand, but they don't know what the rest of our hand is. Seraphine, alright. Force them to remove this, because if they don't, they lose the Seraphine to the Unspeakable Horror. Or they could just get something that buffs it up. Never mind. Okay, we can still go here then. Let's just push a ton of damage then. This is getting us... We're still missing 1. We're missing 1 to actually be able to level up the Nocturne. This is gonna be 2. Here goes the removal, or it was a high note. Okay, so they had the high note. Fine.
It's our time.
I'm not beating that high note, so that's okay.
How about a duet?
I never beaten the high note, so I think that's fine. I think I'll take it. At this point, I'm looking to potentially have a sneaky lethal with burn. So this is gonna be 1. So this is gonna be 1. This is gonna be 2. So the opponent's gonna go down to 5. Of course, because we also have access to the Moonlight Affliction, could be really interesting. This is actually a great card to get. Lets me enable the Nightfall next turn while also giving me another Nightfall card that I desperately need. Okay, I'm quiet because this is a very hard turn. Do we ever just pass here? Is this ever a pass? I don't think I can afford to pass. I don't think I can afford to pass. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just start play my cards out. I want to have the mana for the Moonlight Affliction here. Yeah, go ahead, go for your Sun Fumes. That's okay. I need to have the mana. I need to have the mana for next turn. Yeah, you are always gonna have the answers, right? You're always gonna have all this stuff. You're gonna duplicate your spells, yada yada yada. Your Seraphine is leveled up. Big deal. I might not play. I might not play this out. I might not play this out.
I hear you, son. Now you're about to
Force the opponent up to actually spend the 2 mana next turn on the spells that they have here, right?
Sure, it's a classic.
But I guess it doesn't matter, because if they have it, they have it. Oh, of course, they get to draw 2. Like, do we ever just pass here? The problem is that I won't have enough mana for Nocturne, Moonlight Affliction, and the Guardian. I think I have to just pass. Yeah, that's the Time Wander. Okay, so cool. They play Time Wander. Now that they actually play that out like that, I'm gonna go ahead and play the Crescent Guardian.
Alright, center stage.
You obviously have something, right? You obviously have something that can kill this, that can let you survive. I'm not gonna give it to you. There you go. That's the Pale Cascade. The problem is that the opponent just drew 4 cards, right? If there was any chance that they had nothing in their hand, that chance is gone. We only have enough mana for Nocturne and Moonlight Affliction, right? So we won't. They are a 5. So if the opponent has no removal whatsoever, and we can silence them both. We can silence them both, right? They cannot block. Opponent needs to remove both units, and Seraphine doesn't have her spells doubled up anymore. They cannot block. They're both silenced, so we're not dying to burst speed. They don't have Bakali Bar here. They have to spend all 5 mana to actually stop us. And they have it? No. No. They don't. Let's go. Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what they surrendered. Doesn't even let me see the strike. That's what I thought. There we go. That one is a feels good win. Especially when they have both Seraphine and Ezreal on the field like that. So, GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Shen Kayle. So, Shen Kayle. I love the Nocturne. And I love the Onlooker with the Fading Memories to try to turbo level Nocturne. I just don't know if we need like another 1-drop, right? We need another 1-drop so that we can enable this Onlooker on turn 1. And there we go. That's the perfect 1-drop right here. We could also steal the opponent's Solaris Soldier if we wanted to. But I think it has to be Flight. I think I like the Flight into the Onlooker, right? We could kill the Soldier is what I meant to say. Yeah, opponent's not gonna have any blocker for this, so this gets to stay alive for another turn to help our Nocturne level up even more. We can go Fading Memories. We have a lot of ways to do this. We have a lot of ways to do this. Up for our next turn.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics.
I don't wanna. I don't want to waste the fading memories now, but I don't think I'm gonna have a choice. I don't think I'm gonna have a choice but to do it now. Nocturne is still so far away from leveling up. I guess we can also go into Dusk. Allows me to block something. What if we try to draw? What if we try to draw into the okay, I was trying to draw into the thing, into the into the elusive, right? I was trying to draw into the elusive, that didn't work out. We can block here. We can block this Solaris Soldier. We're gonna block whichever one the opponent buffs, right? Because this one is gonna go down in attack. Yeah, so we can just block this one here. Unfortunately, not what I was planning for. Not what I was planning for, because I ended up not getting the elusive. Yeah, so it was going to be the next draw. So we're going to have to just commit to this Nocturne. I'm definitely going to kill this Esmus, by the way. I think the Esmus is more problematic than anything else the opponent has. And because we sacrifice our Onlooker, we also are in not a great spot.
No more hiding.
Opponent could have Pale Cascade, and if they have Pale Cascade, I'm willing to take that. I guess if they have Pale Cascade, they can kill the Nocturne, so it's actually better to go like this, right? Let's play around the Pale Cascade. Support?
Nature blesses her followers.
That's okay, I take 0 damage. We keep this as Nightfall triggers. We have an elusive blocker, right? Against the Esmus. Opponent decides not to even risk it.
You leave me no recourse.
And we're just gonna block like this. If the opponent has a Pale Cascade, now they have to do it now. It's just a twin? My goodness, that's an expensive twin.
We will be
What if we play the Flight Owl and we play Double Unspeakable Horror? I think this is the scariest card that they have in their field right now, by the way, because it looks like they are full barrier deck, right? So all those barriers are gonna be really problematic for us to deal with. Because this card is going to keep going higher and higher in power. So I'm going to commit both Unspeakable Horrors on it and force the opponent to have an answer. And this is the Pale Cascade that we were looking for. This thing still has vulnerable, so I don't need to kill it. Next turn we can go Glenkeeper. We have Into Dust as well, which is not bad. Gives me a second Glenkeeper potential, a second sapling if we wanted it. So we can go Flight, Glenkeeper. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So I'm still thinking it's correct to kill this Caretaker. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna play another Flight so that at least 2 of my Flights can push damage. This Nocturne is very far behind though. Yeah, so I still think it's correct to go like this. We could go ahead and attack with the Glenkeeper just to get our Nocturne to be 4. Is that worth it? I don't think it is. I think I'm just gonna leave because it's still gonna require me to have another attack for the Nocturne to actually be able to level up. We're gonna keep this Glenkeeper in the back so that we can use it into Dust on it and be able to kind of get value from it. We can actually play the Flight here again to have another elusive blocker. Kayle is close to leveling up. And by close, I mean like really close to leveling up. Oh, it's just a Seinen? Okay. We could go here. Because the opponent knows that we have this in our hand. So like opponent knows we have this in our hand, right? Oh, come on. Really? So, check this out. Let's see. If we unto dust right now, we get a blocker. Go here, we go here. We can Pale Cascade. And let's just Pale again. And there's Diana. Diana is pretty good for us. Diana is really good for us. Nocturne will level up. Opponent has a lot of cards in their hand. They could have other barriers. But this lets us play around the barrier. We can play the flight. We might not actually attack with the flight, by the way. So we might not actually attack with the flight because I might need the elusive blocker. Is that true though? Do I actually need the elusive blocker?
Any act of heresy will be punished.
I cannot turn back.
I'm gonna have to attack with the Glenkeeper if we want to level up Nocturne. I'm gonna have to attack with this Glenkeeper if we want to level up the Nocturne. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. I think I want to take the Nocturne level up. We might have actually needed this blocker back. Oh, okay. Opponent is gonna just take the attack. You can't kill it though. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. That's the moral support that we were talking about. So we were talking about the barrier, right? We're talking about the barrier. This lets me do this. I do need blockers though, right? I need the blockers. I think I'm gonna commit for the soldier here so that we have like a random blocker. Yeah, I'm gonna commit for the soldier here so that we can at least block one of their stuff. Then we can play the protector and Pale Cascade next turn. Because opponent doesn't have a really good open attack here either. The problem is gonna be Horasi. Right? So the problem is gonna be that Horasi, allowing the opponent to have 2 units becomes 7/7s. So I guess in this case it's gonna be 6/6. And that elusive actually... I forgot about the elusive. The elusive actually pushing a lot of damage. Opponent ends up giving us the Pale Cascade value. Can go here. We can kill this Seinen while also drawing. No reason to risk our Nocturne if we can just do it this way. And then next turn we're gonna have to try to hope that we get another set of. I mean we can get rid of most of their blockers except for these two, right? So we have to hope that we get another unit that can actually let us bring this down, but another unit doesn't even matter. Okay, that could matter. That could matter. This could actually matter. Because it will let us get another potential unit from the Unspeakable Horror.
2 worlds, 1 balance.
We go here. We have a bunch of fearsome blockers. Fearsome attackers, sorry. The Shen is not leveled up. I think I'm gonna go here first. See if we get one more unit. I think I want to have the last unit. And I actually think we don't pull. So I'm gonna tell you why. If I pull with Diana and the opponent has a Shen Stand United, they get to bring back their fearsome blocker back to the... They get to swap with one of their non-fearsome blockers and then be able to bring back their 4/4. So I think I don't think I actually pull. I don't want to give the opponent the chance to do the Stand United. Because if they have the Stand United now, for example, if they have the Stand United now, it doesn't work. Okay, they just have twin, that's it? That's still lethal though.
Immediately.
Unless you also have lifesteal. I think I'm willing to... Oh, Worthy Soul, okay. I think I'm always willing to do it. I think I'm willing to play around with the opponent having Stand United. Obviously, didn't play around the correct stuff because the opponent ended up having a recall. So they get the win. I don't know. I guess we could have known that the opponent didn't have the Stand United because this is their first Shen that they played. They would have played Shen already. We knew they probably had Twin just based on the way that they were playing. We still lose to the Worthy Soul though, but at the very least I'm able to kill the Winged Messenger. So they do Twin on the Shen. We pull the Winged Messenger, get to kill the Winged Messenger because the opponent has to do the Worthy Soul in one of my other units. And then we can come back potentially because we get to keep our units as blockers. But we're still losing the Nocturne. No, we're not. Yeah, we are losing the Nocturne, but the opponent will have to sacrifice the Horasi for us to lose the Nocturne. So, GG's. In this match, we're going against Viktor Seraphine, Ionia. So, Viktor Seraphine with Ionia. Obviously, the access to PNC is really annoying for us. I like the Dustbringer. We don't get anything else, though. That's a little bit awkward. We do have a lot of draw, though. We put Cascade onto Dust, and obviously we'll have access to the Dust Petal. We get the Diana with Pale Cascade as a backup. That's not bad. Rolling Feline. I don't know that I actually take that trade because we're going to have the Diana enabled next turn anyways. Right? So there's no reason to take that trade. Opponent's going to have to have like a Get Excited or something similar to kill Diana to the Pale Cascade. You know what? Let's take it. Let's take the trade now. I'm trying to think, because I was thinking, okay, we could get the favorable trade by pulling with Diana, but if the opponent has removal, then I'm just taking 2 damage for no reason, right? So, we don't have to do the Dust Petal anymore. We can go out here, and then we can go Diana. That still triggers the Nightfall and lets me push an additional 3 damage here, and also lets me see if the opponent taps out of the 3 mana for the Thermal or they Get Excited. Or the Aftershock. Yeah, Thermal, Get Excited, Aftershock are the 3 things that could kill us. Some fumes as well if the opponent has a card that they can add to their hand. Now we play Diana. Opponent still has exactly 3 mana, and the Sun Fumes is enabled because of the preparation. So yeah, so opponent's either gonna have Mystic. If it's just Mystic, I'm chilling, right? It's not a Thermal, it's not an Aftershock. Has to be Get Excited or Sun Fumes, now that the opponent waited. And this to Get Excited, so we let it go. And that's the first Diana out of the way. And opponent had to discard the preparation. I mean, they played preparation for a reason, I would hope, right? So, kind of surprised about that. I'm gonna pass, because I can do this to give the soldier, right? Another +1/+1, and now we have another set here of 3/3s. We can play Diana again, and this time have access to double Pale, which will also level up Diana. So now Diana can survive against a 3 damage removal. We can also always go Glenkeeper, but I don't think the Glenkeeper is correct at this moment. Although the Glenkeeper is tempting because we have access to the Unto Dusk. But I don't see... Diana doesn't die against anything here. Not with double Pale Cascade as a backup. So I think it has to always be Diana. Gets me the challenger. Opponent could have a stun or a recall. Both, I mean, the concussive pump would be really annoying. Just because he also gives them a good blocker for their units here. Yeah. Alright, if you have the concussive pump, you have it. I don't think I can play around it. This is gonna give us 2 more towards Nocturne, so Nocturne will be a 3 out of 5. We have enough draw to potentially get the Nocturne, eventually. Opponent wants to probably play Bar next turn. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that we want to do next turn, so the Bar is going to come down and punish. Yeah, the Bar is going to come down and punish. Seraphine? Seraphine?
Follow the horizon.
I will be heard.
If I just go like this, there's no way that the opponent is ever blocking, right? I think I'm just gonna go here. I think I'm just gonna go here. If the opponent decides to block, then we can do the same thing as if we were pulling the Seraphine. Unfortunately, by dragging the Seraphine, I just gave the opponent information that I had Pale Cascade in my hand. Because I don't think they would have realized otherwise that I had the Pale Cascade here. Now, they are gonna have to take sits, right? Because you're never blocking with Seraphine. You're never blocking with Seraphine, doesn't make any sense. My consideration was maybe going for the Seraphine, but it gets too easily punished by like Unworthy Soul, Will of Ionia, or anything like that, so I don't think it ever makes sense to go for the Seraphine here and like pre-commit the double Pale Cascade. I think we just let them take the sits and go like this. Another cat. Another cat. Here comes the back out the bar. So here comes the bar. If it's not a bar, then we can do the same thing we did last time, where we go Twilight Protector to buff these guys up. It's not a bar. I'm kind of liking the idea of the Protector to make everything have 3 power. Protector into Glenkeeper, I think is decent. I hate the fact that, I mean, it's okay that I don't have any other units, I guess, because I need to be able to fill my board up. Yeah. Oh, opponent didn't even do the Headscar upgrade. No way. Because we can go like this. We can go Glenkeeper, and we have Unto Dust, which will let us actually give all my other Nightfall allies +1 attack, which includes the Protectors and the Dianas. Wow. 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 Yeah, this is gonna be a big... They didn't even get to play Headscar because they thought that they were burning my mana, right? I understand where the opponent's coming from. When you get a pass like that, you're like, oh, I'm burning their mana. I'm taking that pass, right? But I didn't care because my hand was complete doo-doo. Wow. Wow. And there's the back alley bar. Then we go Glenkeeper. We have Diana, which is about to level up. Opponent does have the bar enabled. They get the little value here. So. We can... If we go here... I feel like I need to go Pale Cascade, right? I feel like I need to go Pale Cascade. Like, opponent has to block. Opponent has to do something. Opponent has to do something here. Because this is lethal. I'm pulling this one. I'm pulling the Fearsome blocker so that this one can push damage. Because this is lethal. So opponent has to do something, which lets me then respond with my Pale Cascades and Unto Dusk to push the lethal damage that I need. I understand why they did it that way. But now this lets us trigger lethal. Oh, actually, no, I'm one off. I'm one off from lethal, but opponent's gonna have to answer again. I might just take this. I might just press OK here. No, this is lethal because it buffed itself. So yeah, it buffed itself. So now this is lethal, as well as letting us kill the Viktor. Opponent? GG's? I guess opponent just so focused on saving Viktor, they forgot that this is lethal. It's a nice interaction with the Protector, with the Unto Dust, and why it's so good in this deck. So, GG's. Thank you, opponent. In this match, we're going against Red Gwen. So, Katarina Gwen. We can aggro them down. The Moonlight Affliction is one of our only ways to really deal with the Katarinas, which is so unfortunate. I don't like keeping that Moonlight Affliction, but I think I'm gonna have to. Okay, this is a great draw. This is a great draw, especially because we're attacking on turn 3.
Peaceful.
So we can just play this out and kind of go like that.
We shall sing, dance, and forget our
I don't think we need to block this yet because the opponent could potentially have the fearsome one. Yeah, there you go. So now this completely stalls out their attack. Alright. I can just pass, right? Actually, I can go like this, and there's the mana for Glenkeeper if the opponent gets greedy here with anything. So this is good because it lets me still. The opponent cannot play. Opponent also has to play around Diana, right? So the opponent has to play around Diana, has to play around the Glenkeeper, decides to just play around it. Cool. We'll push 6 damage of Fearsome here. Stun. Okay, I guess we don't get to push any damage of Fearsome. Yeah, we attack with everything. Let's just attack with everything, start working on getting our Nocturne leveled up. The Sentry is always a pain, but it's not impossible to deal with. I'm not concerned about their attacking the response, because we can always use Unspeakable Horror, right? Gwen is very annoying because it lets them heal back up. We need to have that Nocturne or Diana to really get ourselves stabilized. And that's the Nocturne.
Allow me.
Do we take that 4? Oh, absolutely, right? Absolutely can just take that 4.
A single empire ruled by the true
Oh,
king.
please get greedy. Please get greedy and do it on the Butler. I love it. I love it when they get greedy like this. I love it when they get greedy like this. It's always so nice. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Nightfall trigger there, so we are kind of a little bit low on resources. I need a way to get Nightfall on this guy. That's one way to do it. This is an amazing way to do it, because we can go here. This is also going to let us level up the Nocturne. Right, so we can go like this and play Nocturne into whatever the opponent plays and have Pale Cascade as a backup. Okay, you have the second Sentry. The second Sentry is what punishes this play. If you have the second Sentry, then props to you. They don't have enough for Harrowing next turn, because Harrowing is 10. They actually have the second Sentry. Oh my goodness. Every time. Every time. Every time. It does mean that we don't get to get Battle Feast. I would say it means that we don't get to Pale Cascade, but when it could have Flock, yeah, it's gonna be a Flock instead. Alright. Every time I think that we're almost there, opponent just has the perfect answer, right? Double Sentry, double Sentry and the Flock. So now we need a second Nocturne. I'm just so good at this game. Like, I'm actually so good at this game. I'm gonna pass first.
Please make yourself right at home.
I think I can just play out the second Nocturne. This gives me access to Pale Cascade to block that Butler, and I have blockers for everything else. So now we have the Pale Cascade, which lets me block this Butler. We keep the Onlooker alive, and we're gonna be able to just get a lot of value from this Moonlight Affliction. To be fair, every time, like, I guess to be fair, I complain about how they keep getting the perfect answer, but we also keep getting the perfect answers, right? So I cannot I cannot say too much about it. I think I'm not gonna do anything. Because I'm okay committing this on the Sentry if needed. It has to be the Doom Beast then, right? Okay, so we can go here. Okay, so That's 8 mana. We can go like this, and then have Moonlight Affliction, and this will be exactly 9. So by going Doombeast first, right, we put the opponent at 9. Nocturne is going to level up, so 6 plus 3 is going to be 9. The Moonlight Affliction gets rid of the Sentry and whatever other blocker the opponent has, and that will get us the game against everything except for a Battle Feast. So if the opponent, and there we go, now we go like this, and this is lethal against everything but Battle Feast. And even if it's a Battle Feast, I mean, we're still at 19 HP. Opponent only has 3 Hollow Deaths and not afraid of dying next turn. Especially now with us having a Sentry in our hand. And opponent doesn't even have a good Aggro in the air. So there we go. Perfect, perfect. That Doombeast top deck was the best thing. So yeah, it is funny, right? It's a side of two worlds, right? It's like, I'm complaining about the opponent getting the perfect answer with like the Sentries and the Flock, but then here I am top decking 2 Nocturnes back to back, and then top decking a Doombeast. That's how card games are sometimes. So you just have to laugh at it and move on. GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed today's games. We have quite a few fun games. Both those games against Red Gwen were really fun. We got that big win against the Seraphine Ezreal Bandle City deck where the Moonlight Affliction just came in so clutch. And then you also kind of saw us sort of throwing that game against Shen by playing around Stand United. But then I went back and kind of looked at the bot. And even if it's not a Stand United, we're not beating the Twin there. Right, so we're not beating the Twin because with the Twin and the recall, the opponent is always able to survive, even if we drag the elusive, and then next turn we might not have died right away, but we were so low in value that it was actually very likely that we would have died because we had to at least trade a lot of our units. So you know, it happens. I played around the wrong card. I should have known that the opponent didn't have a second Shed in their hand, and they definitely don't main deck Stand United, but you never know with a deck like that. It was a weird deck that I hadn't seen before with Shen Kayle. But enough about that. You live and you learn with the losses. In terms of mulligans for this deck, I really like kind of going for... You want to always keep the Dustbringer. Let's just put that out there. You want to go for an early aggressive approach, but the Dustbringer is the main card you're looking for to start enabling that. So the Lunari Dustbringer, you keep that in your opening hand. If you're attacking on turn 1, I don't mind keeping the Soldier. I'm very greedy at keeping the Glenkeeper because the Glenkeeper I think gets me a lot of value as you get into the game. Diana is also another one that I'm looking for. So usually I'm looking for the Dustbringer, I'm looking for Diana, I'm looking for the Flight, I'm looking for the Glenkeeper. Just kind of those early units that can put a lot of pressure on the opponent. And sometimes Solari Soldier and Onlooker are also good keeps if you already have a good enough early hand. So just try it out that way and kind of see how it goes for you. If you like today's video, make sure to like it below and subscribe to us. We post a lot of videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch and Twitch.tv. We stream every now and then. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching all. And I'll see you all again tomorrow.